get a little closer to the front lines here of what's going on. So, folks who may just be joining us here on KARE 11 Plus and on our streaming channel here, just to kind of familiarize them with what's going on here. We're in the 600 block of Rose. We're about a block off of Maryland here. And we'll just show you here. We've got neighbors out, obviously gathered here along the police lines in front of this house here. We have officers from the St. Paul Police Department. They are forming a line here, keeping folks back here from this operation that is going on inside this house here, right behind me here. We've got neighbors out here who've brought signs here, obviously. Ma'am, hi, you're on KARE 11 right now here. We've got, stop deporting our neighbors here right now here. And, some other signs here. Obviously, like I said, this has prompted quite the reaction from folks in the neighborhood here this morning here. We'll turn around here. This is about mid-block here. You can kind of see the amount of folks that have gathered out here. Obviously, this activity has touched off a lot of anxiety and some frustration with neighbors here. In fact, I want to show you here right now, because we showed you that video earlier of the OC spray being deployed here. These are bottles of water that folks were using to wash eyes out here. We saw one woman who is apparently suffering from asthma. She was in a little bit of respiratory distress here. If you've ever been hit with this stuff, it is not pleasant. It really burns the throat and the eyes here, and especially because we've got a very misty, foggy morning here in St. Paul, the spray does carry a bit. It carries a little more distance here than it normally would.
Dave, we appreciate you showing us that scene, because it is going on for several blocks now, or for that area. You said it's also behind the house. I'm curious, because we've seen the protesters, Dave. How many federal agents have you seen? How many cars are there? Is this a large presence?
Lauren, I would say it's maybe a couple of dozen federal agents in total here.
A couple dozen. So it's a reasonable presence.
Yeah.
It's a pretty large presence.
It's a reasonable presence here, yes. There's definitely more protesters than there are federal agents on scene, I can tell you that.
Yeah, so it is, but it is a relatively large presence. It's not one or two agents. This is a crowd.
This is, yeah.
Dave, I'm wondering, maybe we can take up the map right now just to orient our viewers as to where we are at that 600 Rose Avenue East in St. Paul.
Yeah.
That's near Maryland Avenue. It's near Payne Avenue. Just to give you a sense of that neighborhood. It is a neighborhood that has an immigrant community in St. Paul. It's near a local library, near a local church. Just so people know where we're talking about.
And Lauren, this is also a very densely populated neighborhood here, too. I mean, there's a lot of families in this neighborhood here. This is not like, say, uptown where you have apartment buildings, but this is a lot of families with homes here. Some folks are concerned, obviously, about those chemicals coming into their homes here and what they might be being exposed to here. But yeah, as you said, we're about midway between 35E and Arcade Street. So again, if you're familiar with this area here, we're just to the northeast of downtown St. Paul here.
Well, Dave, I am going to let you go now to do some